Imagine not being able to vote. You're feeling as if you are not treated equally. Many people with intellectual or developmental disabilities are not treated equally. Best Buddies deserves your monetary donations because it provides people with intellectual or developmental disabilities opportunities they wouldn't otherwise have. Thanks to the Best Buddies nonprofit organization, a person with an intellectual or developmental disability has an opportunity to form a one-to-one friendship with a person who does not have an intellectual or developmental disability, and subsequently experiences social skills as well as a voice in the world. The inequality between those with and without intellectual disabilities is so great that Best Buddies implements one-to-one friendships to help equalize the social status. From bestbuddies.org, Best Buddies was founded in 1989 by Anthony K. Schreiber, when he noticed the willingness of college students to volunteer. He says that a person with an intellectual or developmental disability should have the same opportunities as any other person. Best Buddies has a mission to establish a global volunteer movement, to create opportunities for one-to-one friendships, to have integrated employment, along with leadership development for people with intellectual or developmental disabilities. With 6.5 million people having an intellectual or developmental disability, Best Buddies has had many accomplishments and has therefore been supported by larger organizations. 4 major organizations would be Audi, Pepsi, Geo Group, and Country Kitchen. All of these companies have made a contribution of at least $250,000 because of the life opportunity Best Buddies provides to people with intellectual or developmental disabilities. Audi, in fact, is now the official vehicle of Best Buddies. The global sale of the book, What's Wrong with Timmy, is another example of Best Buddies' mission. All proceeds from this book go directly to the Best Buddies organization. The book, What's Wrong with Timmy, focuses on the same goals as Best Buddies, one-to-one friendships. In this book, a young child named Kate grows to being good friends with a boy named Timmy, a child who has an intellectual or developmental disability. If you were to say buy this book for a family member or a younger sibling, you are also supporting Best Buddies as well as giving a gift. Best Buddies has chapter programs globally. These chapter programs consist of citizens, colleges, high schools, jobs, middle schools, e-buddies, and ambassadors. The more monetary donations Best Buddies receives, the more people with intellectual or developmental disabilities will have an opportunity for one-to-one friendships, experience social skills, as well as a voice in the world. To demonstrate Best Buddies' mission, let's look at some of the organization's needs. People without intellectual or developmental disabilities must be willing to volunteer their time to talking with their buddy and doing activities with their buddy. Otherwise, these one-to-one friendships won't happen. I joined Best Buddies in September of 2010, and I am still in Best Buddies. I was matched up with someone with an intellectual or developmental disability. I joined Best Buddies because I have a passion for helping people be on the same level with society. Most of us have friends we talk to about our daily life, but someone with an intellectual or developmental disability may not be able to establish that as quickly. Being in a one-to-one friendship, a buddy can see how someone without an intellectual or developmental disability uses their social skills to have a conversation. From the Orlando Sentinel, quoted from Kara, she said that I know I am just glad to have a friend. From the Winnipeg Free Press, Cody Calcott and Scott Beatty, both matched in Best Buddies, said that they play video games, watch movies, and go bowling together. Cody Calcott quotes that he and his buddy have a lot of fun together. Best Buddies will not have funding to keep the chapter programs running without your monetary donations. These one-to-one friendships are made possible with your help. Kara and Scott need your support to develop the relationships and the social skills that are unfortunately not available to them. Best Buddies has used its resources in such a positive manner, causing the organization to grow, which you can contribute to. There are numerous ways to get involved in this organization. One way is to make a monetary donation. You should know that 89% of all revenue that comes into the Best Buddies goes directly to the chapter programs. Another alternative is buying the book What's Wrong with Timmy, because all proceeds from that book go to Best Buddies. Another option is becoming a peer buddy, where you're matched up with someone with an intellectual or developmental disability based on interests, and you're helping that buddy feel on an equal level with society. Or you could become an associate member, where you are in the club, but you are not matched up with someone who has an intellectual or developmental disability. You show up to chapter events and help out with things that are needed. More chapters are forming, so more volunteers are needed, and more money is needed. More money is needed for the chapter programs. Because of that, more people with intellectual or developmental disabilities are having an opportunity for a one-to-one friendship. The person without an intellectual or developmental disability is helping their buddy have a friend, experience social skills, and have a voice in the world. Personally, being in Best Buddies helped me realize that a person with an intellectual or developmental disability has just as real emotions as any other person. They may be expressed differently, but they are still expressed. In closing remarks, Best Buddies is a nonprofit organization that strives to form one-to-one friendships, and within that, help its members experience social skills as well as having a voice in the world. Through Best Buddies, people with intellectual or developmental disabilities have had many life opportunities that they may otherwise not have, being very deserving of your donations. Best Buddies has a goal that by 2020, Best Buddies offices will be in all 50 states, expanded to 100 countries, impact 3 million people without intellectual or developmental disabilities, increase school chapters to 2,500, and have Best Buddies become a household name. This is all in a major effort for people with intellectual or developmental disabilities to be on the same level with society. So come on, everyone, let's make it happen.